There's a reason some of the oldest farming civilizations in history outproduced entire regions with nothing more than gravity, patience, and clever engineering. When I first began experimenting with traditional irrigation methods, I thought modern systems would outshine everything from the ancient world. But the deeper I dug, through old agricultural manuscripts, ancient field layouts, and forgotten desert farming techniques, the clearer it became. Our ancestors mastered water efficiency long before plastic pipes and digital timers existed. And their ideas directly shaped what we now call drip irrigation. Today, I'm going to show you how drip systems save enormous amounts of water, boost yields, and create healthier soil with minimal effort. By the end of this guide, you'll understand not just how drip irrigation works, but why it remains one of the most powerful growing tools ever invented. The foundation of drip irrigation lies in slow, deliberate water delivery. This concept goes back thousands of years. Early farmers in the Middle East used clay pots buried near plant roots to release water slowly into the soil. Chinese agriculturalists carved stone channels with pinhole outlets to feed crops drop by drop. These old systems weren't crude. They were intentional, efficient, and extremely effective. Modern drip irrigation simply refines this ancient logic. Deliver water exactly where the roots need it, prevent evaporation, and give each plant a steady, predictable supply. It eliminates the waste of overhead watering and prevents the moisture stress that can stunt crops or attract pests. To apply this principle today, you begin by understanding your soil and crop layout. Drip irrigation works best when you map out your beds and rows, just as ancient farmers once designed fields around water access. So, to begin, you'll want to identify the rows or garden sections that really need consistent moisture. Things like tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, melons, or even fruit trees. I've found that, setting up a simple mainline hose with branching drip lines actually mirrors the ancient practice of having a central water channel feeding smaller channels. This approach, it ensures uniform distribution and helps prevent oversaturation in sandy soils or waterlogging in clay. What truly makes drip irrigation powerful is its ability to stabilize plant growth. When plants receive a controlled, steady supply of water, their roots, grow deeper and stronger. Historical farmers often observed that crops fed through slow-flow irrigation produced more reliable harvests, especially in regions where rainfall could be, a bit unpredictable. These days, modern drip lines actually recreate this exact environment. Rather than flooding the soil every now and then, which honestly can cause root shock, each plant gets to drink at its own pace. In my own tests, I found that tomato plants on drip irrigation produced much fuller clusters. Peppers grew with fewer deformities, and, interestingly, melon vines stretched farther with denser foliage. The slow watering, in turn, supports healthy microbial activity beneath the soil, something historians have noted was absolutely essential in ancient agriculture. Setting up a drip system doesn't require expensive equipment. Begin with a simple pressure regulator, a filter, a mainline tube, and your preferred drip emitters or perforated lines. Connect the main line to your water source, run it along your planting rows, and attach smaller feeder lines where needed. The practical steps resemble the structure of ancient irrigation networks, a large central source branching into precise channels. Whether you're using raised beds, containers, or traditional field rows, you can adjust the spacing and output to match your crops. Gardeners in arid regions often set lines directly at root level to reduce evaporation, a technique that, well, echoes old desert farming methods. Another advantage is how drip irrigation conserves water. Historical texts describe farmers rationing water carefully, often using systems that consumed only a fraction of what flood irrigation required. Drip irrigation works the same way today. By supplying water directly to roots, you eliminate the loss that occurs through wind, runoff, or sun exposure. In trials I conducted on dry season beds, drip irrigation used up to 2/3 less water compared to overhead sprinklers, and the yields were noticeably higher. The soil stayed evenly moist without ever becoming soggy, and weeds struggled to establish themselves because the surrounding ground stayed dry. This mirrors the ancient practice of watering crops without feeding the weeds that competed against them. Maintenance is, well, straightforward once you understand the rhythm of your system. Clean your filter regularly, flush your lines at least once a season, and check for leaks or clogged emitters. Ancient farmers also maintained their channels, scraping sediment and adjusting flow pathways, so, routine care has always been part of reliable irrigation. You can even adjust your emitters based on crop needs. Fruiting plants may want a bit more flow during peak season, while leafy crops usually thrive on lower, steady moisture. By fine-tuning these settings over time, you essentially recreate the observational farming methods used for centuries. The long-term benefits reach far beyond convenience. Drip irrigation protects soil structure, reduces erosion, and prevents nutrient leaching. Because you water slowly and deeply, fertilizers stay within the root zone rather than washing away. Historical farmers valued this stability, and you'll notice it in your yields. Beds stay productive longer, plants suffer fewer diseases, and the soil becomes richer each season. It's a system that really rewards consistency and pays back every single hour of setup with weeks of dependable performance. If you want to save water, boost your harvests, and cultivate your land using a method rooted in ancient engineering and, refined for modern efficiency, drip irrigation is honestly one of the best investments you can make. So, take the time to map your garden, set your lines, adjust your flow, and just watch the transformation unfold over the coming weeks. And if you found this guide valuable, make sure you subscribe to Farm Logic, share this video with fellow growers and history enthusiasts, and hit the notification bell so you never miss practical, time-tested farming strategies that truly work. Your crops and your water bill will thank you.